Yes, Universalist. Thank you for talking back to me. Maybe it's the caffeine. Maybe it's because the sun's been up a little longer. But those 9 a.m.ers, they did not want to talk to me this morning. I mean, the ministers did. Thank you. Please rise and body your spirit and join me in singing our opening hymn. It is so good to be here with you this morning. It's Royola, which is 1020 in your teal hymnal if you want to look at the notes. We are going, heaven knows where we are going, but we know it is, and we will get there. Heaven knows how we will get there, but we know we will. It will be hard, we know, and the road will be muddy and rough, but we'll get there. Heaven knows how we will get there, but we know we will. Oh yeah, yeah. Oh yeah, yeah. Oh yeah, yeah. Oh yeah, yeah. We are going. Heaven knows where we are going, but we know it is, and we will get there. Heaven knows how we will get there, but we know we will. It will be hard, we know, and the road will be muddy and rough, but we'll get there. Heaven knows how we will get there, but we know we will. Oh yeah, yeah. Oh yeah, yeah. Oh yeah, yeah. Oh yeah, yeah. Keep singing. Oh yeah, yeah. Oh yeah, yeah. Oh yeah, yeah. Oh yeah. One more time through. Oh yeah, yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah, yeah. Oh yeah, yeah. Oh yeah,
A couple of weeks ago, I woke up and my first thought was, I am so glad it's Sunday. I really need some church. It had been a long and difficult week. I wanted to come to church, to sit with you, to sing and be sung to say the words of the lighting of our chalice together, and to glean a little bit of wisdom from whatever, wherever, or whomever it came. And then I realized it was only Wednesday. Oh, it had been a long and difficult 2-day week. On Monday, I woke up, I drove to St. Paul to model for an art class, I visited my sister, then I ran home to scramble for some lunch before running out to North Minneapolis to teach a yoga class, before visiting my mom, before running back to South Minneapolis to teach another yoga class. And when I finally got home, I told my spouse, I'm really tired, I just want to eat dinner in front of the TV and go to bed early. I am worn out. And then I heard a man. He was outside yelling and crying, and I was worried about him. I didn't know what I could do to help, but one thing that I'm learning here at this church is that I don't have to have all the answers, and I don't have to be able to do everything right in order to show up with love. I put my shoes on and I went outside and I sat with the man. and some neighbors came out and sat with us too. And together we waited for a non-police presence to arrive. And I didn't have any training for this, and I didn't feel prepared for it, but I've been coming here, learning how to better show up with care and love when called. So I tried my best, and everyone stayed safe, and things all worked out, and I am really grateful for that. The next day, I had a lot of feelings about what had happened the night before, so I called some church friends, Rebecca and Denise. They're people who spend a lot of time thinking about how we can help people without calling police. And I asked if they would listen while I talked about what it was like to help. And I turned to some UU friends, Elizabeth and Sherry, that I spend a lot of time online with, and they listened and supported me all throughout the week as I needed it. And when I mentioned what had happened to my Faithful Action co-lead people, Reverend Arif was here. Yes, you moved on me. Reverend Arif right away offered to listen if I needed someone to talk to as well. Building capacity to respond with love when called, recognizing that call, answering the call even if we don't know exactly how, helping each other, learning from one another's mistakes. That's pretty good stuff. And isn't that why we come to church? Welcome to all newcomers and visitors and guests to First Universalist Church. Your presence here is a gift to this gathering. We are so glad you're here. Welcome longtime members, new members, and friends. Your return blesses this community in its own wisdom. Each life gathered here gives strength to our common journey now and the living paths we take throughout our days. We celebrate you, we celebrate and welcome each one of you. It matters to our community that you're here. I'm Dallas Rising, one of your worship associates, and I'm joined in leading worship today by Reverend Jen Crow, our senior minister. Can we get a wave? Dr. Glenn Thomas Rideout over at the piano over there. Can we get a wave? Or yeah, great. Director of Worship Arts, Reverend Arif Mandani, Amy K. Bryant, Olu and John, keep it up, yep. They're managing our media and live stream connection. We've got ushers and greeters and artists. Many people have prepared this space with grace and good care. Prepared these words and these songs to keep and change you, to wake you up and help you rest. Let's pause to notice how life is breathing through us now. And I invite you to notice your body that holds you now. Let your body show you the way to soften and loosen. As your body begins to settle, carefully choose a word, something your spirit hopes to find in this time together. Let this hope breathe in you slowly and deeply in 3 meaningful breaths. Peace and inspiration await us now, in the familiar places and where we've never thought to look. May that be ever so. I invite Reverend Jen to come on up to kindle the chalice flame. And this tradition connects us with Unitarian Universalists everywhere through all time, and I invite us together. Let's say the words for the lighting of our chalice. Love is the spirit of this church, and service is its law. This is our great covenant, to dwell together in peace, to seek the truth in love, and to help one another. With open hands and open hearts, may we give, receive, and grow the blessing of beloved community now and always.
As you continue to breathe, I invite you to sing a chant with me. The words are pretty simple. It's easier to say the words than often it is to do the words. So let the words speak in you and let yourself act into them. They go like this. Loosen, loosen, baby. You don't have to carry the weight of the world in your muscles and bones. Let go, let go, let go. Loosen, loosen, baby. Loosen, loosen, baby. Then it goes up. You don't have to carry. You don't have to carry the weight of the world in your muscles and bones. The weight of the world in your muscles and bones. Let go, let go, let go. Let go, let go, let go. Let's try it all together. Loosen, loosen, baby. You don't have to carry the weight of the world in your muscles and bones. Let go, let go, let go. Again. Loosen, loosen, baby. You don't have to carry the weight of the world in your muscles and bones. Let go, let go, let go. Will you lead us?
Loosen, loosen, baby. You don't have to carry the weight of the world in your
Carry the weight of the world in your muscles and bones. Let go, let go, let go.
baby. You don't have to carry the weight of the world in your
Carry the weight of the world in your muscles and bones. Let go, let go, let go. Loosen, loosen, baby. You don't have to carry the weight of the world in your muscles and bones. Let go, let go, let go. May it be so.
Good morning again. So now for a time for all ages, I'm going to ask some people to volunteer to make up a story together. I think 5 people would be good. Do we have 5 volunteers? yours? I saw that hand there. 2, 3, 4, and 5. Those 2 in the back. Oh, let's have 6. Come on up. Yeah, come on up here. And while you're coming, I'll tell you how it's going to happen. We're going to line up down here in the front. And I am the conductor. And you're going to make up a story together. You can face the congregation, stand here. Yep, in a line here, facing that way. Yeah, good job. Okay, and take a step downstage or toward the congregants a little, so you're not sitting on the, because I'll need to be behind you. So you're going to make up a story, right? Stories have beginnings, middles, and endings. They have a problem that has to be solved, and they have characters. I'm the conductor. I'll touch you. You start telling the story. When I take my hand away, you stop. Right? Oh, we're not starting yet. I was just demonstrating. Thank you. That was confusing, right? The rules are, all of the characters are fictional, no real people. That'll keep us all out of trouble. Okay? That's the first thing. The second thing is the rule is yes and. You can add things to the story, but you can't take other people's ideas out of the story. So if someone says there was a dragon, another person next can say it wasn't a dragon, it was a princess. You can add a princess to the story, but you can't take someone else's idea out of the story. Okay, I think that's all you need to know. Show me a thumbs up if you understand. Okay, let me see you standing in a straight line. You need to be next to each other, shoulder to shoulder. You two can close up here. Yeah, this way. Yes, this way, this way. Good, good, good. Okay. Anything could happen right now. Are you all ready? Oh, last rule. When we start to tell the story, we're going to get a main character. Everybody must talk about that main character. Okay, here we go.
One time there was this guy named Jeff, and he really loved pancakes. And one morning he ate his pancake, and when he went to the bathroom and he came back, his pancake was gone.
I so want to go with the obvious and talk about giving the mouse the pancake, but I'm not going to do that one. And then when he noticed that the pancake was gone, he looked around and noticed in the corner that there was a little spider. And the spider was dancing with excitement at the deliciousness of this pancake that it had just discovered.
There's a spider dancing at the deliciousness of the pancake it just saw. And a person who woke up and his pancake was gone.
And then I don't know.
Oh, so this storyteller needs some help. Can you get some help from the audience? What do you think could happen next? Oh, I see a hand up there. Yeah. Oh, okay. So the spider got 10 times bigger. Say that. So
The spider got 10 times big.
Do you have an idea what happens next? No? Yeah, you're great. Can I hug you? Yes. It's okay. It's okay. We're here with you. Next. The spider got 10 times bigger.
The spider started eating the pancake, and then the spider said the pancake tastes terrible, and then he threw it at the person. And then the person fell over because the pancake also grew 10 times bigger. And then he ate his way out of the pancake.
And then he ran off and ran across a giant river to get away from the spider, and was soaking wet and freezing cold and still very hungry.
Do you think she might want to add something? Do you want to add? No? Oh.
Pancake.
Do you know what happens next?
Then the spider drowned in the water, and then the pancake fell and squished the human.
Do you want to add something else?
Wait, so what happened so far?
The human got squished by the pancake.
Yeah.
The spider and the spider's 10 times bigger.
Yeah. So
How
was
does
the
it
pancake.
end? Do you think?
Um,
Oh yeah, and the spider trap.
and the spider had when it touched the water, there was so much water, and the pancake soaked up, and then it looked like a pancake.
Okay, that was weird. You all don't sit down just yet. Let's give them all 3 big claps and a snap. And before you go, let's just all process together. What was that like to make up a story all together?
It was fun. I also wanted the spider to step on the man.
So everybody doesn't always get their way when you're doing something all together. Any other observations or reflections about what that experience was like? You had to work as a team. What did they have to do to be successful? You had to listen, right? You had to really listen carefully. Support each other, I heard someone else say. Any other reflections? So we're working on ensembleizing ourselves as a congregation, which means like really working together as a group to do all the things that are important to us as UUers. You all can have a seat. Thank you so much. And so that was my attempt at an experience to kind of of what that's like, to collaborate with a group of people, to not have complete control over the outcome, and to see what happens. Because really, isn't that what we're all doing? We're all in one giant collaboration right now, one humongous improvisation. And hopefully we will learn to work together, all of us, to lessen our individual goals and desires in order to all succeed as a community. Thank you for a time with all ages.
Dear ones, that was fun. I don't know about you all, but I'm sweating a little bit. Yeah. Thank you. Thank you for helping to tell this story. Again, the laptop is here because I'm online pastor in addition to being here with you in the sanctuary, so I'm not checking my email, just, letting you know. So we have come to that time in the service where we unfortunately need to say goodbye temporarily to the youngest amongst us as we send our beloved young ones off to their religious education classes. So we're going to do this in a somewhat orderly fashion. If you are in kindergarten up through 5th grade, please head out the doors at the back of the sanctuary, find your teachers, and make your way to your classes. And as soon as the narthex is more or less clear, which it is now, I invite those youth who are in grades 6 through 12 to also make your way to your religious education classes.
I used to say this to myself to get over the annoyance of too much noise, but now I say it because it is a truth that resonates in me, and I offer it to you as a blessing for your life now and always. The sound of young people is the sonic evidence of new life. It is cause for gratitude. It is the substance of a blessing. The church at Corinth, however, well, they were just making noise. The Apostle Paul, in the Christian tradition, in the early Christian church, the way, way early Christian church, wrote a letter to the Corinthians. We call it 1 Corinthians, but it's actually the second one. And he was writing it because after he had left, the church had devolved in arguments and fights. Can you imagine? Can you imagine if arguments and fights were a church's reputation 2,000 years later? The church was arguing for no good reason. Their fights were for no good reason, and there was a love leaking from the ship of this church. And so Paul wrote, you can do everything you want. You can raise all the money that you want. You can yell and you can squabble. Anything you do without love is worth nothing. Anything you do without love is worth nothing. He said, when I was a child, I used to talk like a child, and I spoke like a child, and I reasoned like a child, but when I became a man, I put away childish things. And 20 years later, I encountered the same exact lesson when I opened the Tao Te Ching, and it began to change my life. The way I think of it, imagine a chair. There's one. There's one that you're sitting on, a chair, a pew. Tao Te Ching says there is such thing called the Tao. The Tao happens when you stop trying to name, when you stop trying to categorize, when you place no limits on the one. And so when we are young, we understand that this is a chair. We understand that because that's at the limit of our capacity to understand. But that we're never supposed to stay there. We ought to grow our minds and our hearts until we understand that there is no chair without the wood, and there is no wood without the tree, and there's no tree without the water, and no water without the air, and so on it goes until there is no distinction between the chair and you and me and all there is. So it is with these moments together, that the purpose is not to reinforce the limitations of what we already know. But we sit here in a moment with the potential to expand the reaches of our connection one to another, until my heart is your heart, until I understand the truth that our hearts are connected to all hearts, and that the life that breathes within me is the same life that breathes you. I welcome you into some moments of quiet keeping now. Let us keep the quiet so that we can hear the silence speak in us, and so that we can hear ourselves breathing the silence. Holiness that is one. Spirit of all life, we remember our love. We remember peace. We remember life. We breathe in air connected to all breath. Clear our hearts, open our hands. Loosen our grip so that we might be open to the wisdom that widens before us. Ancestors, come. Tell us again what it is like to be free. Generations to come, arrive now. Show us the way that we are connected, the way that knows no division. And by this may we grow. Amen. It's in this spirit, dear ones, where our awareness is heightened of the ties that bind each of us to one another, that we undertake an exercise of community. The exercise goes like this. In the center of our worship, we call to mind the truths of our lives, the joys and the sorrows and the uncategorizable. We call them to mind, and for some of us it will be helpful to say those things out loud, and that space is open for you. For some of us, we're in a place where the silence is the best place, and that's welcome too. The point is that the community holds the time together, not me. The community holds the time together, and everything we hear and everything we don't hear, we make an effort to care about. The space is open now.
I asked for prayers for my sister. She fell and sprained her ankle very badly, and she's getting help.
Thank you.
Ask for prayers for Nancy, who will be having surgery on Monday.
Thank you.
My grandparents were very involved in the new church in Florida, which where my mom lives and I grew up. My grandfather turned, well, he passed away, but he would have been 103 yesterday. And my grandmother died about 18 months ago, at 96. And every time I come here, I just think of that. So I'm happy to be here.
Thank you.
I'm feeling selfish, unfortunately. This is going by the philosophy of you need to be strong yourself before you can help other people. And yesterday, I was fired from my job for refusing to be refusing to continue to be complicit with unethical behavior at my work.
Thank you. Thank you.
Blessings on Jimmy Carter's
Thank you. Thank you. And our hearts are with Marion Dane Bauer and her whole family. Marion's grandson, Connor, has recently transitioned to hospice care. He was diagnosed with Lewy body dementia when he was 18, which is the same disease that his father, Marion's son, Peter, died of. Let us send our love to surround them all, and send our hopes for tender care and moments of joy and connection. And our love and care surround Mary Sorensen and her family as they grieve the death of Mary's son, Chris. Chris died last week. His funeral service will be held in Minneapolis at the Estes Funeral Chapel on Thursday. There's a reception here for a time of connection and fellowship right here at First Universalist after the service. We're sending healing wishes to Carol Hineker. Carol is recovering from hip surgery earlier this week. The joy is that Carol is healing well at Walker Place, and Carol sends appreciation for the care and support of the congregation. And our care is surrounding Elliot and Kelsey Hansen, and Elliot and Kelsey's whole family as they accompany Elliot through an illness. They appreciate the support they're receiving from the community and from this congregation. For every single moment of truth living in each one of our bodies, may we be present and give thanks. May we find peace. May we find balance. May we find the courage to loosen where loosening is needed, the courage to hold on when we need the same. And may the memory of this connection in community, may the fact that we care, strengthen each one of us, now and always. Ashe. So may it be. Amen. Spirit of love, come unto me. Sing in my heart all the sermons of compassion. Blow in the wind, rise in the sea, move in the hand, giving life the shape of justice. Rules hold me close, wings set me free. Spirit of life, come to me, come to me.
Each week when we gather, we make time for the spiritual practice of generosity. It is tempting when we think about our giving, our philanthropic efforts, to want for those efforts to procure concrete things in the world. Things are quantifiable: chairs, books, roads. But as in that prayer that Glenn Thomas pointed us at, a chair is not just a chair, a pew is not just a pew, it is all of the things that comprise it. And this is true also of our offering, which most weeks goes out the door to support the work of an organization with whom we are in partnership. And most of the organizations that we support, most of the organizations that we are in partnership with, are not so much about the things that they make as the network, the web of support that they create. This is absolutely true for this week's offering recipient, the Center for Leadership and Neighborhood Engagement. The Center for Leadership and Neighborhood Engagement teaches local leaders and faith communities to effect social change. It partners with the Alafia Foundation and invests in visionary leaders of nonprofits, small businesses, and social entrepreneurs in North Minneapolis. In doing so, it tends to the web, it tends to the network that is necessary for the community to survive, and more than survive, to thrive. I invite you to give generously as you are able. Information on how to give will be projected on the screen if you're with us on Zoom. It will be projected on the walls if you are with us in the sanctuary. And I invite the ushers to please come forward.
To give see, then I know what it feels. Then I know how it feels. Then I know how it feels. How it feels to be free.
Ooh, feel that. This feels good. And now, hear this poem by Marilyn Nelson. It's called Generous Listening. A conversation can be a contest or a game of catch with invisible balloons. They bounce between us, growing and shrinking, sometimes floating like cloud medicine balls, and sometimes bowling at us like round anvils. You toss a phrase, and understanding blooms like an anemone of colored lights. My mind fireworks with unasked questions. Who is this miracle speaking to me? And who is this miracle listening? What amazingness are we creating? Out of gray matter, a star spark of thought leaps between synapses into the air and pours through gray matter into my heart. How can I not listen generously?
It takes a crane to build a crane, and it takes 2 floors to make a story. It takes an egg to make a hen. It takes a hen to make an egg. There is no end to what I'm saying. It takes a thought to make a word, and it takes some words to make an action. It takes some work to make it work. It takes some good to make it hurt. It takes some bad for satisfaction. Ah, la 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 la, life is wonderful. Ah, la 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 la, life goes full circle. Ah, la 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 la, life is wonderful. Ah, la 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 la. It takes a night to make it dawn, and it takes a day to make you yawn, brother. It takes some old to make you young. It takes the cold to know the sun. It takes the one to have the other. It takes no time to fall in love, but it takes you years to know what love is. It takes some fears to make you trust. It takes some years to make it rust. It takes the dust to have it polished. Oh, ah, la 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 la, life is wonderful. Ah, la 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 la, life goes full circle. takes some silence to make sound. And it takes a loss before you found it. It takes a road to go nowhere. It takes a toe to show you care. It takes a hole to make a mountain. Oh, la 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 la, life is wonderful. Ah, la 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 la, life is full circle. Ah, la la la, life is wonderful. Ah, la 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 la, life is meaningful. Ah, la 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 la, life is paradoxical. Ah, la 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 la, life is hysterical. Ah, la 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 la, life is wonderful. Ah, la 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 la, life is life is.
Like Amy said earlier, we are working to build an ensemble here, working together to build beloved community, a community ordered in love, a community rooted in practice together, a community so full of love that it has the power to change us as individuals and us, the larger world, the larger community. This beloved community doesn't just happen, it's the result of spiritual practice. The Reverend Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. said very clearly, beloved community is the result of the practice of nonviolence, the practice that includes cultivating a tender heart and a tough mind. Tender heart, tough mind. Community ordered in love that has the power to change us and us. Over the months this year, we're going to be talking about the practices we engage in that help us to build beloved community here in this congregation and in our families and homes and in the world. As we turn into October, the spiritual practice, the way of building beloved community we are exploring is learning from each other's experiences. How do we build beloved community? By learning from each other's experiences. I'll tell you, as we've made this shift into October, there's a particular person and a particular phrase that has been sticking with me. Learning from each other's experiences. Here's the phrase: if I can't get you to see them, then I can't get you to see the person standing in front of you. If I can't get you to see them, I can't get you to see the person standing in front of you. Now, these words come from Yvonne Holden, Director of Operations from the Whitney Plantation in Wallace, Louisiana, about an hour outside of New Orleans. It's in a part of the country where southern plantations have often become whitewashed with nostalgia about architecture instead of based in the reality of what happened in the past and is still happening in the present. In this landscape, the Whitney Plantation stands apart because it is centered in the experience of the enslaved people who lived and worked there. The Whitney Plantation is a place folks come to visit to learn about slavery and about the enslaved people that lived and worked there. And learning there requires both the tough mind and the tender heart. Descendants of the people who were enslaved at the Whitney Plantation still live in the surrounding area, and some of them even work there at the plantation at all levels, from directors all the way down to the tour guides. And for Yvonne, she can't trace her descendants to the Whitney Plantation, but she can trace her family history back to her then 9-year-old grandfather and his 16-year-old brother when they had made the decision to escape from the racial terror of the Jim Crow South in 1938. At the ages of 9 and 16, she imagines them. 2 black boys hopping trains and walking all the way from Forest City, Arkansas to Chicago, Illinois, driven by this desire to survive, driven perhaps by fear, but also by strength and courage and creativity and resilience to leave, to try to make a place, a space. These are some of the ancestors that are in Yvonne's mind and heart as she tells the story of the enslaved folks who lived and worked at the Whitney plantation. Part of what makes this place unique is that it's not just memorials and monuments, but they really bring to life the words and the experiences, the stories told by the enslaved people themselves. As you can imagine, making this trip to the Whitney is an emotional experience for just about everybody who goes there. Even for the self-selecting visitors who choose to go, letting in facts that they hadn't previously known, or maybe receiving them in specificity and detail in full life experience. It's challenging. The number one comment from the white visitors that Yvonne gets when she leads the tours goes like this. She says she hears the white visitors say, "I know slavery was bad, and I don't mean it like this, but weren't there any good slave owners?" Number one comment from the black visitors, she says, is, "Why are you not telling a more forceful story about the depravity of what happened here?" It's a 90-minute tour, she says. 90 minutes. And the guides strive to tell as full a story of what happened for the enslaved people at the Whitney as they can. The commitment there, though, is not to just tell the story of what happened to those people, but to tell stories about those people. To tell about strength, resilience, creativity, courage, resistance. To tell the stories of the legacies that have been passed down to generations, those legacies that still live inside African Americans today, these legacies that are inside of us when we can't even trace back name by name by name. This is the context from which that quote I shared comes out of. She writes, "If you can't see them for being people, you can't see me as a person. I want to get you to see them because I know as a black woman what my challenges in society have been. It's stemming from this history. So if I can't get you to see them, you can't see the person standing in front of you. If I can't get you to see them, I can't get you to see the person standing in front of you." I think about this sentence, this longing. I think about the survivors that have gathered in the Twin Cities this weekend, survivors of Native American boarding schools. I can imagine them saying the very same thing. If I can't get you to see them, then I can't get you to see the person standing in front of you. And I wonder for each of us, who are those people? What are those experiences that are so deep, so core, that if the people looking at us can't see them, they can't see us too? You see, it sounds benign, right? Learning from each other's experiences. But the truth is, it's life-changing to learn from each other's experiences with a tough mind and a tender heart. The tough mind that allows in new facts so that we might come to new conclusions. The tough mind that questions what we believe and opens it up to new possibilities. The tender heart that says, "I will be changed when I know you. I will be changed when I hear your story for real, and I want that. I welcome that. The tough mind and the tender heart, it's a big deal when we apply it to interactions with each other. Mark Nepo has written that listening means leaning in softly and being willing to be changed by what we hear. Leaning in softly, to be willing to be changed by what we hear. This is the work, this is the posture that we are inviting each other into as we approach this practice. We can't learn from each other's experiences if we can't hear each other. To be willing to be changed by what we hear. That's the posture, the invitation. Today, when we leave the sanctuary, you'll see out there that there are glass bowls full of water. This is your water communion, water, sanitized and being returned to you. There are little vials out there that are empty, and the invitation is to scoop up some of that water that we brought together ourselves and to take it with you. Now, my invitation to you is to use that water. You can use it however you want, of course, but the invitation I'm making is to use it, to look at it, to hold it, maybe to take some out, to put it on yourself whenever you need to move into that posture. That posture of leaning in softly, of listening with the willingness to be changed. When do you need to slow down, to put down the limitations that have been put on all of us by generations of falsehoods, by living in a culture that supports capitalism and colonialism, a false caste system of race built to separate us from each other? To use this water to move us into a posture of real listening. May this be our work.
That's right, we about to sing. Please join me in singing number hymn 360. Here we have gathered.
new to our congregation and want to learn more and get connected, I invite you to join us after the service online or in person. Just come right on up here for a place to start informal conversation and connection. For those of us who are here in person, I invite you to gather water as you leave, with hopes that we might know each other more deeply, that we might pause and move into that space where we lean in softly, willing to be changed by what we hear, able to hear the stories that go back generations, that we might know each other today. May it be so. Amen.